This is an underground human meat burger factory in the United States. They knock people unconscious and place them on a conveyor belt. After a simple disinfection, they coat them with a secret seasoning and seal them in plastic wrap. A week later, once the human meat has fully absorbed the flavor, they push it into a grinder. As the machine keeps running, fresh and tender patties are produced one after another. Finally, after the chef cooks them skillfully, juicy burgers are served to customers' tables. Unaware of the truth, customers marvel at how delicious the burgers are, even wanting to lick their fingers clean. But how do they supply so many patties? This is the 2022 suspense thriller film American Massacre. The male protagonist, Jack, is a cook at a burger shop. Although the job is boring, the decent income keeps him satisfied. He and his sister, May, were both born in the United States, but that still doesn't change their status as undocumented immigrants. Without visas, their mother can only survive by doing the dirtiest and hardest jobs. However, May works hard and successfully gets into Columbia University. Getting into such a prestigious school is undoubtedly a chance to change their fate, but reality is cruel. Her college dream is shattered when the governor orders the deportation of all undocumented immigrants, regardless of whether they were born in the U.S. Chaos erupts across the city because as many as 2 million undocumented immigrants live there. They are detained in large cages, waiting for the government's next decision. Jack watches as his sister is put onto a bus. No matter how loudly he shouts, he can't stop it. They are separated. After being detained for an unknown number of days, Jack is finally brought into an office by a blonde lawyer. His family's situation is terrible. They face indefinite detention and deportation. The only way out is for Jack to volunteer at a nursing home. If he performs well, his family may receive legal status. He agrees. Others with similar circumstances include Camila, the purple-haired rebellious girl, Chris, a timid nerd, Big Fee, a tough street guy, and Sarah, a vegetarian. The place is like hell. Everyone is fitted with tracking devices and can only move within designated areas. At the nursing home, Jack meets an elderly woman in a wheelchair. He starts reading to her to build rapport. As he reads, she mutters quietly. At first, he doesn't understand her words. Suddenly, she seems to whisper for help. In the meantime, Chris notices something strange. He refuses to eat, fearing he might become like the senile elderly residents. Growing increasingly anxious, he tries to leave, preferring deportation over staying another minute. But the door won't open. Guards immediately drag him away. The staff say he was sent back to detention, but something seems off. Chris has severe asthma and never goes anywhere without his inhaler, yet he left it behind. It's clear something bad happened. The next day, another volunteer discovers an elderly resident acting strangely. When told he is looking for his sister, the old man becomes emotional and grabs his arm, as if trying to reveal a huge secret, before a nurse injects him with a sedative. Soon, May appears, saying her memory has been fuzzy and she can't recall many things. Jack notices a strange mark on the back of her neck. They suspect the staff are using tools that erase memories. Only then do they begin to realize what's really happening. It turned out this wasn't an ordinary nursing home at all. To uncover the truth, Awe secretly took a caregiver's keys when he wasn't paying attention. That night, he used them to unlock the tracker on his ankle and quietly sneaked into the ward. He found the elderly woman he had seen earlier and planned to check the back of her neck for a mark. But when he parted her hair, he saw a butterfly tattoo, exactly the same as his younger sister's. Awe instantly realized the elderly woman in front of him was actually his own sister. Shocked by the truth, he rushed to inform his companions, but before he could leave, a caregiver knocked him out with a punch. When he woke up, he was tied to a chair. Half of his face had been injected with some unknown drug, and beside him were 2 young people whose faces had already aged and sagged. When they turned around, Awe was terrified. Everyone in the nursing home had been artificially aged by drugs. Meanwhile, Awe's friends noticed he had disappeared and immediately understood that the missing people had all been captured by the nursing home. This place was actually a hidden slaughterhouse. They treated dying elderly people as premium ingredients, grinding them into meat patties after processing them through industrial machines. A newly hired caregiver accidentally discovered the secret. Seeing automated machines running non-stop and living people hanging on the assembly line, he realized this was a horrifying human slaughter factory. Just as Awe tried to escape, he ran into his friend Suiwa and urged her to leave immediately. However, the administrator discovered them. To Awe's shock, Suiwa secretly grabbed a sedative. She was actually an employee of the nursing home. When Awe woke up again, Suiwa dropped her disguise and explained everything. The elderly were given special drugs daily to erase their memories and make them gradually senile because such cultivated meat was more tender and juicy. That was one reason their restaurant was so popular. By then, Awei and Xiaomei had already been injected and were showing signs of aging. Their friend Dashan was still missing. Unknown to them, everything was part of Dashan's carefully planned strategy. After discovering the secret in the administrator's room, he and Xiaomei began their operation. Dashan pretended to repair a ventilation duct while an elderly person attacked security to create chaos. During the scuffle, a ladder was knocked over and Dashan fell, pretending to be unconscious. The trick worked, and the administrator even removed the tracker from his ankle before taking him to the infirmary. Dashan then moved to phase 2, obtaining an antidote serum to restore memories. By evening, when the administrator arrived with a cart of drugs, he didn't realize the elderly had already taken the antidote. Xiaomei kicked over the drugs, and the restored patients surrounded the administrators. To help more victims recover, Awei headed for the pharmacy but was spotted by security. Although he ambushed the guard, his weakened body couldn't compete. The guard even cruelly yanked out his catheter. At that critical moment, Dashan dropped from the ventilation duct, grabbed the catheter, and strangled the guard. Seeing the chaos, Awei, Xiaomei, and his sister searched for an exit while Dashan stayed behind. When the elevator arrived, they realized they were in a basement. Awei went ahead to scout and found their missing friend, Chris. Before he could rescue him, the director appeared, choked Awei unconscious, and placed him on a conveyor belt leading to a grinder. Just in time, Xiaomei attacked from behind and pulled Awei down, but the director recovered, knocked Xiaomei out, and grabbed Awei again. Chris, trapped in a cage, broke free and helped overpower the director. They pushed him onto the conveyor belt, and he was ground into fresh minced meat. In the end, Dashan defeated the remaining administrators and led a group of survivors out of the nursing home. After watching this movie, do you feel like grabbing a burger to calm your nerves?